All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Again, my name is Chris Rieger, Head of Marketing Strategy here at Heyo. And today's exclusive webinar is titled The Social Strategy That Will Attract Your Ideal Customers for Reasons Every Marketer Understands. My goal today is to teach you guys some new strategies, maybe help you revisit some strategies, learn some really strong social media tips to help you better leverage social media to attract your ideal customers. So here's what we're going to cover, hopefully in about the next 35 minutes. First of all, you're going to learn the genius guide to attracting an audience like Will Smith. Now, does that mean you're going to attract people like Will Smith to your business? No, we're going to study how Will Smith attracts an audience on social media to model what he does, because it's incredibly smart. He's actually a very good businessman. Have you ever wondered why your audience doesn't buy from you, even though you think you've got the best prices? Well, I'm going to tell you why. We're going to break down a few reasons why they might not be purchasing from you and help you understand what you can do to build trust and better improve those specific areas. We'll also talk about a strategy that you can use to acquire new leads, but also new Facebook fans. And of course, I will save some time for live Q&A. Now, first of all, as I get started here, I want to just say hi to everyone who has joined. We've got a bunch of people on the webinar. I was sharing, let's see, let me go back to Twitter. Bunch of new results here. Awesome. A lot of people checked in on Twitter. We've got Memorial Art Gallery, Brittany Houth, Brittany, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Roy McCallum, Scatel's Jewelers in Greenville. I think that's Cindy that I talked to that runs Scatel's. Great. We've got details by Bill, Grant Barrington, Michael Sheridan, DJ Crazy Keith. Boy, Keith, you sound fun, man. InnoBrain, JC Sola, Bill Brennan, Long Arm Social. Bunch of folks checked in already, which I am really, really excited about. Thanks so much for joining. And we have a lot of people that have said hello already in the GoToWebinar questions. We've got Christian here. We've got Lloyd from Jamaica. We already talked to Cindy from Greenville. We've got Lily joining us from Trinidad and Tobago. Michael here from Seattle. William from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tanya from San Francisco. Lena, the owner of LA Glamour Style, an online retail store selling women's shoes and jewelry. We've got Keith from Detroit, Deandra from Ohio, and a whole bunch of other folks. I can't take the time to read everyone's names, but thank you so much for joining. It means a lot to have you guys with me on this little journey here. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First, I'll just share a little bit about myself. That's my ugly mug right there at the top left. Again, my name is Chris. I run marketing strategy here at Heyo. I'm at Chris Rieger on Twitter. Heyo is a great platform for running social campaigns and contests that get more email leads and drive engagement on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so many others. And we heart small business. Heyo is all about small businesses. You guys are our primary customers. We've already talked to like Cindy, who owns the jewelry store down in Greenville, South Carolina, like Bill, who's selling products online at Amazon. You know, we've built our product to really cater specifically to small businesses. So, you know, if you happen to be like working at a really large company, that's okay. You guys are welcome on this webinar too. No problem at all. But we really do this for the small businesses. We've had the great fortune to be able to be featured in a lot of great news outlets, like some of the ones listed here. And in general, Heyo is a pretty great place to be. And we really get to do some fun and exciting things like talking to people just like you guys. So with that, I would love to learn a little bit more about you guys. So I'm going to actually put up a poll, and I would love to know, who are you? Who are you? So here you go. Here's a little poll for you. Are you a startup? Are you a small or medium-sized business with 1 to 10 employees? Please take a moment and vote in this poll. Are you a large business with more than 10 employees? Or are you an agency that's not working on your own business, but representing clients specifically? So who are you guys? I would love to know just a bit more about you. I'm going to give you just a moment to vote. We're up to about 50%, just crossed over 50. I'd love to get to like 75% participation in the poll. We do have a lot of people on the webinar, but I think we can do it. We're up to 60% now. Come on, folks. Come on, you can do it. So keep voting. And I'm going to share the results with everyone so we can all see in aggregate who's on the webinar. So Rich, Christian, Jamie, Elise, Paula, Elaine, Mabin, Gail, Dina, David, make sure you vote in this poll. All right, I think we did it. Good, we did. All right, so let me close the poll and share the results. Okay, so here's what our audience looks like today. So about a third of you are startups. Roughly another third are considered small or medium businesses, so fewer than 10 employees. 16% of you would be large businesses, so more than 10 employees, more than $500,000 in revenue. And another 15% of you guys are agencies working with clients. So there you go. Pretty interesting stuff, huh? That's now that we all are a little bit more acquainted, let's just keep going, shall we? So again, in the next 35 minutes, here's what you'll learn. And we're going to start with the Genius Guide to Attracting an Audience Like Will Smith. Now, take a moment right now in the GoToWebinar questions and tell me, so we're talking about Will Smith, the actor, Men in Black, Independence Day. Take a moment and share with me in the GoToWebinar questions, do you have a favorite Will Smith movie? What is your favorite Will Smith movie? Tell me in the GoToWebinar questions. Come on, I want to make this a little bit fun. Okay, Jennifer says Hitch. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for answering. I realize this is not a marketing question, folks. This is just a pop culture question, but come on, we're all hip, happening people, right? Maven says, who is Will Smith? Maven, that's a very fair question. Should I pull up Will Smith? Do you think Will Smith knows we're talking about him right now? He couldn't possibly. Okay, there's Will Smith. There he is right there on my screen. Actor. All right, cool. Good. We all know who Will Smith is now. All right, Hitch. David says Men in Black 2. Bad Boys 2. Brooks. Great. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me see if I can find a few more here. Hold on one second, folks. A few of the things that go on behind the scenes here. Okay, great. Bad Boys 2. Another Hitch. Independence Day. Ali from James. Good one. The movie with Happy in it. I think you mean something about happiness or something, Tennille. That's a good one with him and his son in the movie. These are great. Oh my gosh, everyone. Holy cow. Deandra says, can't wait for Suicide Squad. That looks pretty intense, Deandra. You must be an intense person. The Pursuit of Happiness. That was the one. Okay, that's it. Okay, awesome. I'd have to say my personal favorite, this is kind of like a little popcorn and candy flick, is I think it was called iRobot. I love that. Oh, Dan, the real estate man, had the same one. I love iRobot too. Okay, enough about pop culture, right? Everyone watch my screen. I'm going to show you some specific examples from Will Smith's social media stream, his social media work that we can learn from. Okay, so first, everyone take a look at my screen and look at this formula. Look at this formula on my screen. Okay, do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? If not, that's okay. I'm going to teach you exactly what that means in a few moments. But first, on to Will Smith. So let's talk about a few things that we see Will Smith do. So here are some examples from Will Smith's social media calendar, specifically from Facebook. So one of the things I see Will doing is mixing content. Okay, I often see a business that only sends out text updates or only posts images. Will does a nice job mixing content. So for instance, here on the left side of my slide, there's this picture of his, looks like an SUV, and it says, I guess I won't be driving today. So there you go. There's a picture of his SUV covered with snow. I don't know where Will Smith lives, but somewhere cold. And then on the right-hand side, we see another couple of posts. At the top here is a text update. Who or what inspires you and why? Just pondering. He got a bunch of responses, obviously, because he's Will Smith. And then, of course, at the bottom right, he posted a video as well. So mixing your content is a really, really important thing to do in terms of your social media strategy, okay? So here's what we mean by that. Text updates, as I said, visual content like images and videos, and links. Facebook has actually come out and said that they preference link share posts from businesses to some degree. So again, it's really good to have a mix, but link share posts are really good. A link share post is simply just pasting in a URL into a status update on Facebook. And on most social media platforms, you can post a link. You can't on Instagram, but just about every other platform, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, etc., you can post a link. Okay, this is really important. We see more than anything else posts that are timely and tied to current events performing really well. Will Smith knows that, and he's exploiting that fact, right? So here's a post of Will Smith with Sergio Aguero. He's a soccer player, a football player, depending on where you live. And he says, wishing Sergio Aguero a victorious run in the Copa America 2015 tournament. Okay, so this was from June of last year. And, Will Smith knows that the more timely and relevant our posts are, the better they're going to perform. So if it's a holiday, like here in the US, we've got Memorial Day, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Labor Day, talking about that holiday, even leading up to it when it's on people's minds, generally will get a lot more engagement. So being really timely with your posts is really, really important and can be very successful. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit more. It's really important to know, if you can imagine, who the avatar is for your brand. Who is your target customer? Okay, so once you've identified who your target customer is, specifically, what gender are they? Are they male or female? How old are they? Are they an adult? Are they over the age of 40? Are they a college student? Geographically, where do they live? What are their psychographics? What kind of interests do they have? Do they care about their family? Are they a runner? Like I mentioned earlier to Bill that I like to run. That's something that I care about. Are they a pet owner? Once you have a firm picture, and I'd really recommend even taking a moment or two, not right now, but maybe later, to just jot a few thoughts down. But once you have a firm picture in place, then start to ask yourself a few questions about this person. And Facebook Insights can be extremely helpful in identifying some of these things. They can be extremely helpful. So specifically, what type of content do they like? So what type of pictures would they like? What other types of content would this ideal customer like to read or engage with? What times of day are they generally online? So if you're trying to reach college students, they're going to be probably online much later into the evening than someone who is just over the age of 40. And I know that because I'm approaching 40, and I like to get to bed really early these days. Also, what about days of the week? Are they more likely to be online on the weekends or during the week? Again, Facebook Insights can be really helpful. If you've got a pretty good chunk of website visitors, you can also leverage Google Analytics as well. And then also just make sure, again, that will help you identify who your target customer is and kind of to know what some of these specific things are about them that will help you put the right kind of social media content out there for them. Okay. All right, cool. Next tip from Will Smith. Okay, I love this picture. He says, trademarking the hover hand selfie on the Graham Norton show. And there's his hand kind of hovering. Okay, so show social proof. Show social proof. These kinds of pics are all over Will Smith's social feed. Okay, so this is like a snapshot of him with like a crowd of people, just a huge crowd of people. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Chris, Will Smith is super famous. Of course, he can post this kind of social proof. It doesn't have to be a picture of a huge crowd of people. First of all, probably many of you attend meetups, conferences, and other events where you can post pictures of yourself with others around the industry, or take pictures of someone, a keynote speaker on stage, and say, for instance, at Social Media Marketing World, listening to Kim Garst or listening to Sue Zimmerman. Those types of posts are great. You could also, the next time you get a great piece of feedback, maybe an email from a customer, take a screenshot of that, post it and say, so thrilled that we're getting positive feedback about our latest product. Thanks so much to, Trisha for sending this in, or whatever. Find ways to inject some social proof into your social media calendar. I believe this goes a long way, and we're going to talk more about this later, into building trust and really building a relationship with your target customers. Really building a relationship with your target customers. So Will Smith knows that because he's a smart guy. He makes a lot of very successful and movies, and he's a wealthy man. Okay, so remember that crazy formula I put on the screen earlier? Take a look at my screen now. Take a moment and look at my screen and just digest this for a moment. Okay. Many social platforms like Instagram and Twitter generally post content according to the time it was posted. As we all know, Facebook has a newsfeed algorithm that displays content that it believes will be the most relevant to you when you log in. Okay, they curate content. Here is how they do it. Okay, we don't know the inner workings of the Facebook newsfeed algorithm, but in general, we know this. Dave says EdgeRank. Yeah, it's generally called EdgeRank. Okay, it's the name of their newsfeed algorithm. So Facebook ranks the content they display based on affinity, weight, and decay. Okay, so let me break these three pieces down. Affinity means if the person who posted the content, Facebook thinks has close affinity with you, if he thinks they're important to you, then they're gonna raise the rank of that content. So, for instance, I'm married, and my wife and I are quote married unquote on Facebook. I don't think that makes our marriage any more or less legitimate, but we're married on Facebook. Congratulations to us. And whenever my wife posts something, Facebook always pops it to the top of my newsfeed. Well, why is that? Because they know she's my wife, and if she posted something, then I probably want to see it. So the closer that Facebook thinks the person is to you, the more they'll preference that. Now, how do they do that for like a business page, a fan page? Well, if you follow a fan page, you're more likely to see their content, right? Or let's say if someone follows your fan page, they're more likely to see your content. If they have engaged with your content in the past, if they've liked it, if they've commented on it, if they've clicked it, Facebook thinks raises the affinity score that fan has with your business. That's why engagement is so good on Facebook. Okay, weight. A post, the more likes, shares, and comments it has, the more weight it has. That's what that means. The more weight it has. Okay, last one is decay. The older the content is, then the less it's going to rank. So ideally, you want fans that have a strong affinity with your brand, are engaging well with your content, and you want to post frequently. That formula is going to lead you to the best social media engagement. The best social media engagement. All right, I hope that's helpful to you guys. All right, so here's another really quick recommendation. So now what? You've got all these tips, and you're like, okay, great, Chris, so now what do I do? I would highly, highly recommend, again, taking a few moments and just jotting down what's your content strategy. So everyone take a look at my screen. I'm going to walk you right through this. Calendar out your week and decide specific times of day that you'd like to post. Okay, so for instance, and then structure it out. If you want to mix content type. So maybe at 9 a.m. every day you post an image. Maybe at 12 p.m. you post a video. Maybe at 5 p.m. you post a link. Okay, so structure that out. And I'm not suggesting it only has to be 3 times a day. It could be 6 or 7 times a day if you want. But we want to be in a routine of posting regularly multiple types of content every day. We also recommend, if you think of this as like creating engagement, a nice way to engage with your fans and followers and also get leads is to run a contest. So I would say regularly, could be once a week, once every other week, once a month, run a contest. So you've got this on your calendar. Launch the contest, the end of the week, pick the winner. Launch the contest, pick the winner. Okay, so there are lots of great tools you can use to do this. You can use different posting platforms like Buffer and Hootsuite and Post Planner and Mass Planner. There are lots of great tools out there. Many of them have a free version or a very, very affordable version of their plan that you can use to create your content calendar. But this is the top of your funnel, right? This is the top of your online funnel. You want to really engage folks on social media. And this is how you start attracting your ideal customers. Okay, so now let's move on and talk about, so why does your audience not buy from you? Maybe they're engaging, or maybe they're not engaging, but like, what do we do next? Okay, so let's break down a couple of the reasons that folks may not be buying from you. So first of all, we do business with those that we know, we like, and we trust. Okay, know, like, and trust. That is like the magic 3. Okay, the magic 3. So let's talk about that. So first of all, it's possible that they might not trust you. Okay? If they don't feel like you're a real human being that they can trust, then they may not trust you. So build a really great avatar. An avatar meaning your persona online. Focus on a face. These are just some recommendations for like your profile image or wherever you place that avatar online. Position it asymmetrically, light it from the front, and make sure you use a nice big file so the edges are nice and crisp. It's not pixelated and it looks really, really good. Okay, so there are lots of tools that you can use to create your avatar. Okay, there's Adobe Creative Cloud, there's Canva, PicMonkey, Pixlr. So here are just a handful of tools that you can use to find that avatar and create it. So if you're not looking at my slide right now, take a look at my slide real quick, just get a snapshot of some of the different tools that you can use. And by the way, don't worry, folks, I am recording this webinar. I'm going to be happy to share it with you afterwards. Okay, another thought is that maybe you're just not consistent. Maybe you're not posting enough for them to get to know you. Okay, so we already talked about developing a content strategy. Make sure you're developing one that is relevant to your audience. Here's a snapshot of some of the tools I mentioned earlier, like Hootsuite, Edgar, Post Planner. Did I say Post Planner? Post Planner, Buffer, etc. So these are some great tools to use. These are some great tools to use if you are if you need to create a content calendar, if you're not regularly posting to social already. Okay, another possibility is that you're just, those folks just aren't engaging enough with you. So here's one pro tip that we have. Launch a photo contest. This is an example photo contest from a company called One Man, okay, based in New Zealand. They ran a best dad photo shoot. This was last Father's Day. Again, remember, timeliness. So this was last Father's Day. Okay, cool. So here's what they did. They set up a photo contest. How did they engage folks? Well, they had a contest countdown to create urgency. They had a really simple way to upload the photo to enter the photo contest. And by the way, they also allowed people to connect with their Instagram account to grab a picture that they already had from Instagram and leverage that when they entered the contest. They were able to capture some additional lead information to get to know their fans a little bit better. And they used a really strong incentive. So they basically sell grooming essentials for men. One Man sells grooming essentials for men. And so they picked a really great incentive. They gave away $250 gift card basically to their online store. Okay. And so that's what One Man did. The other thing they did that was incredibly smart was because they ran this photo contest, they had all this great voting that happened. Okay. All this great voting that happened. So every time someone entered the contest, they were prompted to share their new entry with all their friends and followers and fans. Okay. So what that did was look at all the votes that some of these photos got. So now, not just the people entering the contest are engaging, but you're getting engagement from folks who are actually voting on their entries. It's a great strategy. It's a really smart strategy. You got to have a little bit of a fan base to begin with to get this happening, but it works really well. Here's an example of that. When someone votes, hey, thanks for voting. Share your vote with friends to get the photo you voted for to the top of the leaderboard. They get a message. Hey, don't you want to share this so you can get more votes for this photo? Check that out. And that's what that looks like on Twitter. Now let's take a look at the fruits of that. By running a photo contest, this is one of our pro tips. By running a photo contest, One Man was able to drive a ton of engagement, a ton of great engagement. Pretty darn cool. There's a lot more to lots of great mentions on social, which is also, by the way, great for your SEO and your web presence. Okay, cool. So that was talking about how we get people to know, like, and trust us, to want to buy with us, to buy from us. So let's move on to part 3. Whew, we're doing great on time. How are we doing here, folks? Okay. So part 3, how to acquire more Facebook fans and some leads while we're at it. Thank you very much. So here's our pro tip. We already talked about running a photo contest. Launch a social campaign, specifically a giveaway. How will this get you more fans? Well, let's talk about it. First of all, builds brand awareness. Second of all, you leverage, just like the photo contest, a nice, strong incentive that gets people excited. Thirdly, you use a countdown. Again, just like the photo contest, use a countdown clock to keep people engaged. I recommend a 10-day countdown. Around a week, I would say a minimum 7 days, no more than 10 is perfect for like a giveaway or some other kind of simple social sweepstakes. Okay, because it keeps people engaged. You don't want them walking away. You want them to feel really compelled to enter. Okay, number 4, you make it really easy for them to enter. Make it easy for them to engage with this and enter. A pro tip here is connect your social giveaway to your email marketing service of choice. Let me ask you guys a question. Tell me in the GoToWebinar questions panel, what email marketing platform do you use today? What email marketing platform do you use today? Do you use Aweber, MailChimp, Mad Mimi, Infusionsoft? Okay, here come the answers. All right, we've got Mike and Dave using Aweber, Deandra and Gail using MailChimp, Dave using Intercom. Oh, cool. You actually, I know Intercom, great platform, Dave. You use them for marketing email as well, I guess. Another couple of Awebers. Okay, Fluttermail, Jim, I've never heard of them before. Aweber, Entreport, Constant Contact, MailChimp, GetResponse, Mad Mimi, Infusionsoft. Terry says none. I'd love a recommendation. So lots of great options, Terry, depending on your needs. Everybody we integrate with is good. And maybe I can show you a list of that later. So make it really easy to enter. Okay, number 5, this is critical. Turn your fans into marketers. Turn your fans into marketers. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, so I'm going to show you. So you want to make sure you embed some really smart sharing options right onto the page. Right onto the page. Okay, so why is that? Well, let's take a look. So let's say that this is Paul. Okay, Paul enters your contest and he shares and tweets it out to all of his followers. Now, on average, I can't remember, usually the number of average fans that a person has, for instance, on Facebook, is around, I think it's like 250 to 350, somewhere in there. So let's say he's got 250 friends on Facebook. Okay, so let's say that 5 of his friends decide to enter the contest as well, and then they tweet it and share it to their followers. Let's say that each of them gets 5 people, right, to enter the contest as well. All of a sudden, boom, your campaign has extended reach. This is what we call virality. Okay, does this happen every time? It always happens a little bit. To get true, really, really great virality can be hard to structure, but we've done everything possible at Heyo to make sure that we're building these templates in a way to engender a lot of virality and a lot of sharing. Maven says, this looks like my network marketing company. Maven, maybe. But on social media, right, it's an inherently social platform. People love to share. That's good. It's really good for you. And finally, number 6, another recommendation to get more fans with a social giveaway would be to make it mobile friendly. So take a look at my screen and check out these stats real quick. Do these stats surprise you at all? Over 50% of Facebook users are only using Facebook from their mobile phones, right? Facebook use per day in the US on average is about 40 minutes a day. That's a lot of time every single day on one website. And then also the number of Facebook mobile users, 1.6 billion. That's a global number, as is the number of 400 million Instagram users. Dave says, no, this isn't surprising at all. Dave, I totally understand. All right, so we talked about the photo contest and how great that can be. Check out my screen and watch how easy it is to actually vote on the photo contest and kind of what that looks like. You can view these beautiful images, you can vote, and then you're immediately prompted to share. We already talked about that a little bit. Another type of campaign that you can leverage to get more fans is a refer a friend contest. And with this, when someone enters, they enter their email address, they're immediately given a unique personalized link that they can share. And anybody that they share that link with that enters, they get a point for. So they get added to a leaderboard. So basically, the more they share, the more points they get. The more they share, the more points they get. That's a great type of contest. So here's a question for you guys. We're at a decision point. We can move on. We've got Q&A ahead, some other great stuff. We're about 30 minutes into the webinar. Would you like to see how you can do this? Would you like to see how you can create a social giveaway very easily? And if you'd like to, I can walk you through it. So just say yes. Maben says duh. Is that duh yes, Maben, or duh no? I like that. I like the personality, Maben. Keep it coming. Would you like to see how you can do this too? If yes, just type yes, and I love capital letters and exclamation points and hearts and emojis and whatever else you can stick in there. If not, just say skip in the GoToWebinar questions because I don't want to waste your time. Okay. Tanya says yes, absolutely. Jim says yes. Gail, please. Mike says yes, please. Pleez. Nice, Mike. Michael says of course. Walter, yes, please. Yeah, okay. Justine says yes. Maven says duh, yes. Okay, thanks, Maven. Clarissa says yes. All right. McKay, yes. If you have to step out, the replay will be available afterwards. Okay, cool. Meg says, I need this. Okay, good, Meg, good. So let's do this. I am going to pull up. Now, there are lots of different ways that you can build a social contest. But I know Heyo the best. That's our company, and you can use Heyo to do this. So I'm going to actually show you exactly how to do this in Heyo. So please take a moment. I would love to actually use one of your real live businesses for my contest. So would you mind just telling me in the GoToWebinar questions, what is your URL? Tell me your website URL. I'd really like to know. And I will pick a business that's live on the webinar. Okay, cool. All right, let me just pull a couple of these up. Wow. Okay, lots of great businesses. Splashway.com, dream-analysis.com, baldheadguy.com. It's a great name, William. I'm very curious. Mabenshingleton.com, filmfestivalflix.com. Hi, Benjamin. Atipas.ro. Awesome, George. It's great to have you on. Shopskatels.com. Okay, these are awesome. I wish I could use them all. Here is an interesting one. Let me see if I can get JC on real quick to say hello. All right. Oh, no microphone for JC. Okay, JC, I hope it's okay if we use your business. This is called heysugar.com. heysugar.com. And it looks like it says, hey, sugar, a whole new way to sweeten things up. Organic, pure cane, liquid sweetener. Wow, that sounds pretty good. It certainly looks pretty good. Love the website, JC. JC says, woohoo! Awesome. Love the website, JC. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to build JC a social giveaway. So I am going to pull up my test campaigns business, and we are going to go to town. So we're going to call this Spring Giveaway, if I can type. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to move as quickly as I can. All right. So first, I'm going to click yes. What's your goal with Heyo today? Run a social contest. These templates open up on the right-hand side. I'm going to click sweepstakes template. Yep, that's the one I want to use. I'm going to click save and start editing. And I am in. The first thing I need to do is replace all the sample content with JC's very own content. Okay, so let's go back to Hey Sugar. Okay, I need to find a good logo for JC, and if I don't have one, I can grab one. Cute. Let's use this one. So I'm going to copy the image address, click the thing I want to edit, go to the right-hand side, and make my changes. So I'll paste that in, click Save Changes. Okay, next, we need to pick a product that we're going to give away. It's a beautiful website. Let's look at our sugas. Okay, let me go to the shop. So now in this large image, we want to feature an image that really appropriately displays, like kind of puts on display what the prize is. What is the incentive? That's what we want to do here. So I'm just going to find one of these. This is really cute. We'll use this one. Again, I'm going to copy the image address, click the image. I'm going to paste it in, and Heyo should adjust, and it does. Now, I would recommend embedding some text onto the image as a call to action. There'd be space right here on the left, for instance, JC. Yeah, we actually have 2 JCs on the webinar today. Interesting. Okay, so boom, there it is. We're going to pretend we're giving away one of your products, okay, JC. Now, the countdown clock. Do you guys remember how long we want this contest countdown to be? Do you remember how long? Yes, JC says 1 week. Yeah, 1 week to 10 days. Cool. Yeah, 1 week, 7 to 10 days is ideal. We automatically set it to 10 days. You can adjust it over here on the right-hand side. Take a look at my screen. You can change the date. You can change the time. We're just going to leave it as is for now because 10 days is good. Okay, I'm going to click on this entry form. Okay, here are all the, most of these you guys said you already use for email marketing. But basically, I've got a bunch of options here where I can sync my campaign directly with my email marketing platform. So for instance, I could click MailChimp, Heyo, pick my list, boom. It was that easy. Okay, now I can add fields here if I want. So maybe I want to capture first name. Maybe I want to move this up, get it exactly how I want. I'll click Save Changes. Boom. My entry form's set up. Now, do you remember that viral component? We really want to get people sharing this campaign. I'm going to click the share options. I can put in the Facebook page I want people to like. This is really important. Looks like JC does indeed have a Facebook page, not surprisingly. So I'm going to copy that. Again, I know I'm moving quickly, folks. Paste it in here for the Facebook page to like. I'm going to leave the URL to share blank because there's a note here that says that Heyo will default this to my campaign landing page. And then I want to type in my own share text. How's that, JC? We're going to give away a lifetime supply of Hey Sugar. It's a pretend campaign, so we could give away $1 million, right? By the way, if you do not work in an English-speaking market, all you need to do with any of these widgets is go to where it says labels, click that, and you can change these labels to say whatever you want in whatever language you want. Just a little pro tip there. Okay, share settings are now set up. Holy cow, we're almost done. This little text widget here is the perfect place to either put in some marketing content and I can customize this. I want to make it like really big, right? Because this is my marketing copy. And I want to do that too. I also want to make this brighter. So I'm going to say like, let's make it like I like the blue. Why not? Boom. This is also, by the way, the perfect place to type in your contest rules if you've got some rules. Okay, perfect. I can add links. I can do whatever I want. It's like a full rich text editor right here. I'll save those changes. Okay, now, I don't think that took very long. I'm going to click Save and Preview at the bottom right, and boom. There is JC's giveaway. Not bad, right? Now watch this. Everybody watch my screen. You are not going to want to miss this. If you'll recall, the number 6 on my list of strategies as you're running, strategies to consider, things to make sure you do when you put together your social giveaway was to make it mobile friendly. Here at Heyo, we have, on average, we see 60% of our customers' new leads coming from mobile. Okay, so if this campaign is not completely mobile responsive, mobile friendly, mobile ready, whatever you want to call it, if it's not mobile, you're going to lose out on at least half your new leads easily. So now watch this. Watch very carefully. I'm just going to click this one button. Boom. Here is JC's campaign. It looks great. Completely mobile friendly. This is a responsive template, so everything looks great on mobile. So then what happens next is we click publish. I'm going to just publish this to a test page. Don't worry, JC. I'm just going to publish this to a test page. Okay, and Heyo gives me this smart URL. And this smart URL is the one I use, the link I use to actually promote my campaign. Anytime somebody clicks on it, Heyo knows what device they're on, and it takes them exactly to the right experience based on their device. Exactly to the right experience based on their device. Okay, that whole demo took, about 10-ish, 8 to 10 minutes? Not so bad. Not so bad. So here I am. I'm on my little MacBook laptop giving this webinar. And Heyo knows that, takes me to the Facebook version. What do you think, JC? Looks pretty good, right? Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so let's roll right along, folks. Let's roll right along. So here's what we've learned so far. The genius guide to attracting an audience, just like Will Smith does. Again, my favorite Will Smith movie is I, Robot. You need to know that. Actually, you don't, but I thought I'd say it again. Ever wonder why your audience doesn't buy from you even though you have the best prices? Or, as I said here, the bets prices, because apparently I can't spell. And we talked about the reasons, right, that people buy from us, knowing, liking, and trusting us, and how we achieve that if we're not already. And then how to acquire 500 new Facebook fans with a social giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned for live Q&A. Folks, tell me in the GoToWebinar questions, yes or no, have you learned at least 2 new things from this webinar today? Feedback is super important to me. I put these webinars on for you guys. I want to know if it was helpful. So yes or no, have you learned at least 2 new things from today's webinar? I'm getting a lot of yeses. I love that. If not, say no. Okay, Tanya says, I have learned 3 things today. Okay, great. Tanya, good. Yes, yes. Gail says, yes, fab. Gail, you must be in the UK because they say fab a lot in the UK. Justine says, absolutely, in all caps. I love that. Mike says, yes, I do believe so. Heyo's a really helpful company. Thanks, man. Keith says, yes, very good information. Awesome. Elaine says, yes, the Will Smith tips were perfect. He is helpful. I like that, Will Smith. Keith says, I thought I was an expert. Laugh out loud. Okay, good. All right, great. So I'm so thrilled you guys learned a lot. So that being the case, here's a follow-up question. Are you interested in learning about our pricing? I'm not going to do a big hard sell, I promise. But if you're interested in learning about our pricing, it's just one slide, don't worry. Then comment yes in the GoToWebinar questions. And if not, just say no or skip, and I'll skip. But if you want to, I'll just quickly tell you what Heyo's pricing is like. You can use Heyo to run these types of social contests, like the one-man photo contest, or like the Hey Sugar social giveaway I just built in 8 minutes. Okay, I think I'm getting all yeses. All yeses, and RJ says, why not? All right. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and cover that real quick. So Heyo costs just $30 per month. And today, because I like you guys, I put together like a little bit of a special offer. So if you purchase your Heyo plan today, you get a few goodies to help you build your first campaign. So let me talk you through that real quick. So first of all, look in the left-hand part of this slide. As I said, Heyo is just $30 per month. You can run up to 3 campaigns at a time. You get access to all the mobile-friendly templates we just discussed. You can have unlimited fans, traffic, and leads. We don't set limits on any of that stuff. You get our drag-and-drop campaign designer and really attentive, kind customer support. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not on the customer support team, but they're fantastic people and they do a great job. So that's what, on the left side, this is like what you get anytime you go to heyo.com. However, if you want to grab the special offer today, you can go to heyo.com/30, heyo.com/30, and you get these specific little goodies that you see on the screen. A special live contest training that I'm running next week that I'll invite you to. A PDF guide on picking the right prize for your campaign. And this is a question we get a ton at Heyo. People are like, they don't know what to give away. So we put together like a little bit of a white paper to help you. You get invited to our community on Facebook. We have an invite-only mastermind group on Facebook that you can join. And also another guide, The Secret to Stunning Visual Content. Now, as you hopefully got a feel for today, visual content is really important on social media. And you can use this guide to just help you create really great images. Brooks put it together from our team. It's fantastic. He really geeked out and did a great job on it. And then another training, a free 30-minute video course on finding content the newsfeed loves. So basically, it's like a little package to help you get more engaged, like put together better content and get more engagement, and just help you get that first social campaign off the ground. JC asks, is it a contract? JC, it's not at all. It's a $30 per month account that you can cancel at any time. In fact, we actually offer a 30-day risk-free guarantee. So you can just come back within the first 30 days and we'll even give you your $30 back. It's not a problem at all. So if you're interested in grabbing that, you go to heyo.com/30. And I promised I wouldn't take forever on that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys think about that. And let's dive into Q&A. So if you've got questions, Dave asked about agency pricing. Dave, we have special agency accounts. Send me an email. Send me an email to crieger@heyo.com. I'm going to spell that for you. CRIEGGER@heyo.com. And I would be glad to talk to you about agency pricing and help you out. All right, cool. So while you guys think about that, like I said, let's get into some questions. If you've got questions about anything we covered on the webinar today, or if you've got questions about this offer or social media marketing in general, please go ahead and let me know those right now. You can post them right in the GoToWebinar questions panel. Right in the GoToWebinar questions panel. I'll give you guys just a moment to do that. All right, let me take a look and see, excuse me, if we have any questions. Okay, looks like we got a few here. So I already mentioned Dave's question. Oh, a bunch of questions. Wow. Okay. Marco says, can I only publish to one Facebook page? Actually, Marco, you can use this account to publish to as many pages as you'd like. I'm assuming you're bringing up the offer here. Are there free versions of apps or software to create photo contests in Facebook? Tennille asks. I'm not actually aware of any. There may be, Tennille. But the thing is that you can't, Facebook uses its own, it's called its own sort of special language and code to create apps in Facebook. So generally you have to pay for those, especially if you want to capture new email leads. So, but they're pretty affordable like Heyo, and I'd really recommend checking it out. Okay, Dave says, Facebook marketing question. Can we still import email addresses into a Facebook page account and create an audience from them? I assume you mean creating a custom audience in the Facebook ads platform, Dave, and the answer is yes. Gail asked the question, which social media works best for contests? Gail, I'm going to assume you mean what platform? And they tend to be very popular on Facebook, but it really depends on where your ideal customer is. If you're in professional services and LinkedIn is really the platform for you, put together a contest landing page, publish it to the web. You can do that with Heyo, and just promote it on LinkedIn. Andrew says, I have 12 plus sites. Can I use it across all sites? Andrew, you can. You're not limited to the number of sites or Facebook pages that you use um, to publish these contests, these campaigns. Okay. I have a question regarding content strategy. How much advertising is too much? Okay, I'm not sure I understand the question, Clarissa, but you can. I think if you're promoting posts, it kind of depends on your audience size. So a good measure for that is like frequency. Facebook will tell you if you're running Facebook ads, for instance, how often people are seeing your ad, and you don't want that number to get too high. Mabin says, I think the $30 is what scared me from using Heyo upfront last week. I'm a one-person company. Hey, Mabin, we've got a 30-day risk-free guarantee. If you want to try it out, just grab it and give it a go. See if it works for you. You can cancel anytime in the first 30 days. We'll give you your $30 back. Okay. T asks, is there any way to run a contest using Heyo if you're a new company without a product to sell? Yes, you don't have to give away your own product. In fact, it's not always the best idea to do that anyway. So I would say, T, that you can. I would say that you can give away something else that's compelling. If you know your customers love golfing, then give away a free round of golf. It doesn't have to be your own product. Okay, Tennille asks, does Heyo offer a pay-by-contest price instead of monthly? So Tennille, we're just a monthly plan, but you can cancel anytime. So if you just want to come in and run a contest for a couple of months and then cancel for a while, you can do that. Marco, you can publish to as many Facebook pages as you want. Tennille, you asked about nonprofit pricing. Why don't you send me an email as well to crieger@heyo.com, CRIEGGER@heyo.com. Okay, great question from RJ. What do you recommend for a brand that does not have a physical product but a service? What makes a good giveaway? Okay, so RJ, what I would say is if you're a services company, you absolutely want to pick a product to give away that you think your audience will find compelling. So, for instance, if I were a tax accountant, and I'll use the same example I just used earlier. If I was a tax accountant, I wouldn't want to give away a free tax consultation because, to be completely candid, that's kind of boring and not very compelling. But if I'm targeting older middle-aged men who are relatively affluent, I would probably give away a free round of golf. Gail, it doesn't matter if you're B2B or B2C with contests. She asks, are contests good for B2B or mainly B2C? They're good for both, Gail. It's what you give away, like the example I just gave. It's what you give away that really matters the most. Okay. Okay. Dave says, thoughts on what to give away for boring healthcare companies? Dave, I love healthcare. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I do. I love healthcare. But thoughts on what to give away. If you're a healthcare company, sure, absolutely. How about a free gym membership? How about a free Fitbit? How about a free, like an at-home gym type product, like a free set of barbells, something like that that's related to your business, but is a fun product that people would enjoy. Daniel says, what would be a good giveaway for a dental practice? Okay, Daniel. Whew. Good question. So a dental practice. How about man? That's a tough one. What type of customers are you targeting? Are you like in a college town targeting college students? Brittany says electric toothbrush. Daniel, I like it. I like the electric toothbrush idea. All right. Any other questions, folks? Tell me right in the GoToWebinar questions panel. And just to remind you guys that you can go to heyo.com/30 if you wanted to grab that special offer. Okay, heyo.com/30. Oh, to be very clear, guys, this offer is available right now during the webinar. Elaine just asked, how long is the offer available? It's available right now, only on this webinar. You can always get Heyo for $30 a month, but you're not going to get all these great little goodies for signing up unless you do it during the webinar. Gail says, I guess we need a good number of fans before we launch a contest. Gail, how many fans do you have? It's good to have a few, but you don't need to have a ton of new fans. You don't need to have a ton of new fans. Jim, I will send out the recorded replay tomorrow, so don't you worry about that at all. I would say, so Maven says, well, what do you call a ton? How many fans do you need? I would say as long as you have at least a few hundred fans that are reasonably engaged, or an equivalent audience somewhere else, that's enough. That's enough. So for instance, when I say equivalent audience somewhere else, if you have a blog with some readers, if you've got a website with some website traffic, if you've got followers on Twitter, if you've got an email list you can use to get people entering and sharing it with their friends, those are all great ways to promote your contest. So it does not need to be, you don't need to have like 1,000 Facebook fans to really get the most out of this. Okay. Maven, if you've got 500 fans, that is plenty to get started. If you're not seeing a lot of engagement from them, you may need to promote your post about the contest to get them to enter. But usually that's pretty cost effective. All right, folks, it is almost the top of the hour. I want to make sure that I get all of your questions answered. How many questions do you guys, do you have any other questions for me? What other questions do you guys have? Okay, Deandra asks a question. Can you gain a broader reach for participants with campaigns and Facebook dark posts? A dark post is just a Facebook ad that doesn't live organically anywhere else. You create the post just for the ad. So Deandra, whether it's a dark post or an actual organic Facebook post that you promote with Facebook ads, I don't think it makes too big a difference. I just highly recommend promoting the contest, really promoting the contest. All right, cool. I want to see real quick before we go, because we've got just a little bit more time here. See if I can take just a minute here. Oh, it looks like Cindy is no longer. I was going to say hi to Cindy again. But in any case, if you guys have any last questions, go ahead and pop them into the GoToWebinar panel, questions panel now. And again, last chance, guys, if you wanted to grab that offer, go to heyo.com/30. heyo.com/30. All right, guys. I'm seeing some really nice comments here. Gail says, thanks, Chris. This has been fabulous. Mike says, thank you for a great 60 minutes. Very cool. It seems like you guys have gotten a lot of value out of this content, which makes me absolutely thrilled. Do you have any other questions? If so, pop them into the GoToWebinar questions panel now. I'm going to leave this offer live for about maybe 5 more minutes. Okay, and then I'll take it down, but feel free to grab it. But I just want to say thank you so much. You've been a fantastic audience. I've really, really enjoyed being able to spend this time with you today for the webinar. And again, seems like you guys got a lot out of it, which is absolutely fantastic. If you've got any other questions at all about Heyo, make sure you shoot us an email to support@heyo.com, support@heyo.com, so we can help you with that. And again, I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much.